You tossed it in your bag this morning because you thought you were making a healthy choice. A bag of trail mix, nuts, seeds, dried fruit, maybe a few chocolate chips. The word trail does the heavy lifting. It suggests hikers, mountains, wholesome outdoor energy. The word mix suggests variety, balance. The packaging shows a wooden spoon pouring cashews out of a burlap sack onto a log cabin table. And the number on the nutrition panel, the number you glanced at for half a second while reaching for your keys, may quietly have been 28 grams of sugar per small serving, more than a chocolate bar, more than a scoop of ice cream, more than the lunch dessert you told yourself you were skipping because you already ate a healthy snack. The trail mix aisle is one of the most elegant deceptions in the modern grocery store, and 9 specific brands have turned what should be a genuinely nutritious walking food into something closer to bagged candy with token nut inclusions. Tonight we take the bags apart. The Food and Drug Administration's nutrition labeling requirements mandate disclosure of added sugars, but the voluntary nature of front-to-package claims means that manufacturers can highlight protein content, fiber content, or nut origin marketing while burying the sugar reality on the back panel. The USDA's dietary guidelines recommend that added sugars constitute no more than 10% of daily caloric intake, which for most adults translates to roughly 50 grams of added sugar per day, and a single bag of certain trail mixes can deliver 40 to 60 grams of added sugar in what the consumer perceives as a modest snack. The American Heart Association has set even stricter advisory limits: 25 grams of added sugar per day for women and 36 for men, and against that ceiling, many popular trail mixes represent more than a full day's sugar allowance in a single portable pouch. A 2021 review in the journal Nutrients suggested that frequent consumption of ultra-processed snack foods high in added sugars may contribute to metabolic dysregulation over time, and the World Health Organization has called for policy measures to reduce added sugar consumption globally. These warnings are not abstract, they directly apply to the trail mix category, where the marketing implies virtue, but the ingredient panel tells a different story. The first brand to examine is the brightly colored candy-coated chocolate trail mix sold by a major national snack food company. The first ingredient on the panel is not nuts. It's candy-coated chocolate pieces, followed by peanuts, followed by raisins coated with sugar and oil to prevent clumping. The sugar content per serving routinely exceeds 20 grams, and the serving size defined on the panel is often a third of the bag, meaning a typical consumer who eats the whole bag is tripling the disclosed sugar figure. This is not trail mix. This is a peanut-included candy product with the trail mix label. The second brand is the tropical-themed mix with papaya, pineapple, mango, banana chips, and coconut. The word tropical implies fruit, which implies healthy, but the tropical dried fruits in most commercial mixes are dipped in sugar syrup during dehydration to preserve color and texture, and the banana chips are typically fried in coconut oil with added sugar. The fruit in a tropical trail mix can carry a higher sugar load per ounce than the chocolate pieces in the candy-style mix, because dried fruit is calorically dense and the added sugar coating amplifies the natural fruit sugar. 2 levels the body processes as confectionery rather than fruit. The third brand is the Heart Healthy or high-protein trail mix marketed to fitness-conscious consumers. These products lean on the nut content to anchor the protein claim, but they also typically include yogurt-coated raisins, honey-roasted nut clusters, or granola clumps bound with brown rice syrup. The protein figure on the front of the bag is real, but the sugar figure next to it often matches or exceeds the protein, negating much of the nutritional benefit the marketing promises. For fitness consumers watching carbohydrate intake, these mixes can derail a nutrition plan entirely. The fourth brand is the Warehouse Club private label trail mix sold in large 2-pound pouches. The scale of the product creates portion control challenges because there is no natural stopping point built into the packaging. A consumer dipping a hand into a 2-pound bag while watching television can consume several hundred calories of added sugar in a single sitting without meaningful awareness. The ingredient profile of these bulk mixes skews toward cheaper sweetened inclusions because the price point demands cost management, and the result is a mix dominated by chocolate pieces, sweetened cranberries, and sugar-coated nuts rather than raw or dry roasted components. The fifth brand is the Hiking Trail or Campers branded premium mix sold at outdoor recreation retailers. The premium pricing creates a quality expectation, but independent audits have found that the ingredient composition is often similar to mainstream brands, with the addition of specialty inclusions like dark chocolate chunks and dried cherries that, while higher quality individually, still contribute meaningful added sugar. The outdoor branding is marketing, not formulation, and the consumer who believes they're buying a higher integrity product is often paying a brand tax. The sixth brand is the yogurt-covered variant that features yogurt-coated raisins, yogurt-coated pretzels, or yogurt-coated nuts as primary inclusions. The yogurt in yogurt coating is a regulatory fiction in many formulations, a candy coating that uses yogurt powder as a trace ingredient within a matrix of sugar, palm oil, and whey. The sugar content of a yogurt coating is essentially that of a white chocolate confection, and the marketing implication of a healthful, fermented dairy component is essentially absent from the product itself. The seventh brand is the Energy or Athlete branded mix that includes chocolate-covered espresso beans, cacao nibs, or caffeine-enhanced inclusions. The Energy claim is theoretically supported by the caffeine content, but the caloric and sugar density of the mix undermines the functional positioning. An athlete looking for sustained energy is better served by raw nuts and plain dried fruit consumed separately at controlled portions, rather than a pre-formulated mix that prioritizes indulgence over performance. The eighth brand is the seasonal or holiday-themed trail mix, the one that appears in fall with pumpkin spice components, in winter with peppermint pieces, or in spring with pastel candy inclusions. These seasonal products carry a novelty premium, but the ingredient profile is dominated by the seasonal confectionery theme rather than by nuts and seeds. The seasonal mix is a candy product in trail mix packaging, temporarily released to capture holiday shopping behavior. The ninth brand is the Keto or low-carb trail mix, which has emerged in response to consumer interest in reduced carbohydrate diets. The keto framing implies minimal sugar, but independent analysis has shown that some products marketed under keto branding still contain meaningful sugar alcohols, maltitol, or sucralose-based sweeteners, and the fat content is often dominated by coconut oil or palm oil blends that may conflict with the consumer's broader dietary goals. The keto label is not a guarantee of the product's alignment with the consumer's actual nutrition plan. Here is the grave irony. Trail mix, prepared honestly, is one of the most functional foods humans have ever devised. Nuts provide healthy fats, protein, magnesium, and satiety. Seeds deliver omega-3 fatty acids and micronutrients. Raw or unsweetened dried fruit provides quick-release carbohydrate and fiber. A small amount of dark chocolate can add antioxidants and palatability without overwhelming the formula. A real trail mix is a performance food, a hunting food, a mountain food, a long workday food. What the grocery store has done is taken that functional concept, reformulated it with candy ingredients, and sold it back to consumers at a markup based on the implied virtue of the original concept. 9 times out of 10, the bag in your hand is not trail mix. It's candy with nut inclusions. Here is what to do instead. First, build your own trail mix. Buy raw or dry roasted unsalted almonds, cashews, walnuts, and pumpkin seeds in bulk. Add unsweetened dried cranberries or tart cherries, which are available if you know to look for them, but usually require the ingredient panel to specify no added sugar. Include a small measure of dark chocolate chips at 70% cacao or higher. Mix, portion, and bag. The cost per ounce drops dramatically. The nutrition profile aligns with actual performance goals, and you control every ingredient. Second, when buying commercial mixes, read the ingredient panel in full and count the sweetened inclusions. If more than 2 ingredients are sweetened, put the bag down. Third, check the added sugar line on the nutrition panel specifically. The FDA now requires this disclosure, and it's the single most informative number on the entire package. Fourth, pay attention to serving size. A nutrition panel that lists 16 grams of sugar per serving in a pouch containing 3 servings delivers 48 grams of sugar consumed at once. Fifth, avoid yogurt-coated, chocolate-coated, or candy-coated components in any mix marketed as healthy. These coatings are confection, period. Sixth, buy in smaller quantities and portion immediately upon opening. Large bags encourage overconsumption, and pre-portioning into small containers converts a dangerous snack environment into a manageable one. Seventh, treat commercial trail mix as an occasional snack rather than a daily habit. Even well-formulated mixes carry caloric density that can accumulate quickly when consumed casually, and the hiker or athlete who truly needs the caloric load is not the same as the office worker reaching into a bag at a desk. The trail mix category is a microcosm of the broader processed food industry. A real, useful, nourishing food concept has been captured by confectionery formulation, dressed in virtuous marketing, and sold back to consumers who genuinely want to eat well. Breaking out of the pattern doesn't require abandoning trail mix as a food. It requires seeing the bag for what it is, rejecting the 9 brands that have crossed the line into candy, and reclaiming the concept. By building your own or selecting the rare commercial product that actually lives up to the name. Your mid-afternoon snack, your pre-workout energy source, your road trip fuel, all deserve better than a bag of sweetened confectionery wearing hiking boots. Make the shift and you close a gap between what you think you're eating and what you're actually eating, and in closing that gap, you take back a small but meaningful piece of your daily nutrition.